Hello and welcome back to another campaign diary. In the previous episode, I told you how my players played some of the evil cultists, but when we last left our heroes, they were trying to round up some of these cultists, and they were going to chase one of them through a very crowded city. After I had them roll a couple of skill challenges, they sadly failed. The cultist got away. The guards were just looking around and couldn't find the cultists either. So they figured, well, we've been bothering these cultists enough for the time being, let's continue one of our other quests. And one of these other quests was to find a specific sort of nut for the goblins as part of their cultural heritage. So they went to the north where they figured they would find them, but they were ambushed by bandits. It was a very strange setup with an old lady saying, "Oh, could you please come inside? I'm too weak and too old to grab something from one of my shelves," and they complied, and then they got jumped by bandits. They killed one of them, and then as they severely wounded another, they started pleading like, "No, please spare us, please spare my wife, don't kill us." And they just took a whole bunch of their loot, including some special earrings. Well, special. They discovered that they were special after someone cast a detect magic spell, and they learned that it causes a minor illusion. However, we were only with 3 players, and only one of them, the elven bard, had earrings, so only she could quickly try them. Then I split the party. I literally said to one of the players, "Okay, go stand in the hallway while I tell the rest of the players what they see, and then I'll come to you and I tell you what you notice." And I tell the people still at the table, basically, "Okay, I'm just going to draw this out so that the player in the hallway thinks that I'm telling you this very interesting, detailed thing about what you see, but really, that character looks the same." And then I went to the hallway and said, "Hey, sorry, I'm just going to make this story a bit long so that they think I'm telling you a whole bunch of interesting stuff, but in reality you don't feel anything." And after spending a full hour with this artifact, they learned what it does. It makes the person wearing it look like they have elf ears. So of course, if an elf is going to wear these earrings, they're not going to look any different, because they already look like they have elf ears, because they have elf ears. So yeah, but they decided to keep the earrings, and maybe one of them will have to get piercings, just because they realized, okay, these could be really useful in the future. So they got that artifact, and it was a fun little bit of confusion. On their way to the north, they were disturbed by some wolves at night. They heard some wolves running past them, and then a farmer ran up to them and said, "Hey, I've been chasing these damn wolves for a couple of minutes. They stole one of my chickens. I want to get my chickens back. Even if my chickens are dead, I want these wolves to pay." So they went out wolf hunting in the middle of the night with this farmer. One of the wolves basically tore this farmer apart, and then I described one of the wolves, the largest one, getting up on its hind legs, its anatomy slowly deforming, its head growing a little bit longer with a more defined jaw. Basically, I described how a wolf turned into a wolf-human hybrid. Yes, it was one werewolf and a few of other wolves. And a fight was going to break out, but then the fighter stepped up and said, "No, you stay here. I will duel you, and we will just be using our fists." And the wolf woman was very interested by this, so she put down her weapon and said, "That's fine," and they exchanged a few blows. And then the fighter got bitten, and he failed a constitution check, so gather from that whatever you will, though you'll probably guess correctly. And then I had the wolf woman trash talk, basically saying like, "Oh, so what's your plan now? Kill us, return to the village as true heroes, slayers of a bunch of hungry wolves?" And just a bit of trash talking back from the fighter like, "No, I just want to prove my might. This is just between you and me, equal fighters." And that calmed the wolf down and said, "Well, you are a good fighter." And they sort of complimented one another, and then they peacefully went their ways again. And then they each went their way peacefully. The party continued to the north and came across a small village where they found some of these orc nuts. Apparently the children there were using them to throw at each other and at bypasses. And the first nut they got was from one of the children throwing it against the knee of the fighter. He didn't retaliate, which is good because this was the civilized world. But yes, they got a whole bunch of these nuts, and they went south again, and they stopped and in one of the Dwarven cities, the dwarf city that is closest to the Elven Empire. And in this Dwarven city, as they were just shopping because the fighter wanted a new sword, the bard wanted to construct a new, perhaps better instrument, I had the cleric, who is the best at noticing stuff, notice a woman with long black hair, a human woman, and bright green eyes, sort of tailing them. You know, not getting too close, but constantly following them, looking their way. And yeah, after they left one of the shops, they saw her running around the corner, just fleeing from them. And he was like, okay, we're going to get her now. And they confronted her, and they saw something around her neck. And it was a sort of pendant, a sort of chunk of small material. And the material was black, shiny, and it had tiny, tiny green glistening pips in it. The exact same material that they've been seeing all around the world, where the non-evil cult, which has apparently died out long ago, a cult which seems to worship some ancient being of knowledge and wisdom and all of the good stuff. And there was this woman just within the modern age wearing one of the pendants, and she recognized the weapons they were carrying with them, the weapons made from the same stuff. And that's basically where we ended it. They didn't fight. She just said, okay, let's calmly discuss this in my in-room. And that's where we left off. And I'm really curious to see what they're going to do next time, if they really trust her or not, because they didn't really discuss that at the table. So I'm really hyped. But yeah, that's just what happened. They are now in the process of transitioning to different quests, which is also nice as a nice change of pace. But yeah, that's all I had to say on what happened. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.